Nagaraj Shetti joining us on the show right now. Very good afternoon to you, Nagaraj. And given the fact that today you're seeing a good jump in the IT index, do you think that now is the time to position yourself in buying any of these IT counters or at least the large cap ones?
Hi, good afternoon. IT has been in a sharp uptrend recently after forming an important bottom reversal. I think I'm expecting more upside is likely for the IT sector itself, as well as the main prime sector participants of IT on the upside.
That's about the IT index and how that one is looking right now. One of the counters that is in focus today is Aurobindo Pharma. It's got a US FDA nod for an anti-cancer tablet, and on back of that, the stock is actually seeing a good up move right now at near the day's highest point. That is Aurobindo Pharma for you. But Deepan, let me get your view on the pharma space as a whole, because this one also is a sector that has a maximum exposure when you talk about to the US markets and also being hit with all these announcements coming in from Trump. How should one actually play this theme? And if at all, one should actually look at playing a pharma as a theme right now?
Within pharma, I think the best way to play pharma is to the CDMO companies, the likes of Divi's Labs, Suven Pharmaceuticals, Bluejet, and then there is Dishman. There's also a new listing called OneSource. I think that the CDMO companies benefit from China Plus One strategy and some other regulation changes taking place in the US, like the Inflation Reduction Act and the Biosecurity Act. And on the whole, I think the opportunity for these companies is growing pretty well. Management commentary is very positive. The request for proposals has almost doubled as compared to a year ago or so. And optically, these stocks are quite expensive, but the earnings will be quite surprising. So since pharma has anyway got a very large weightage in the sensex, nifty, and the broad market indices, I think investors should have an exposure to pharma, but the best way to play it would be through these CDMO players. For other pharma companies, I'm a bit cautious, although India-centric company like Mankind Pharma is certainly on our watch list.
Okay, some of those domestic-facing pharma majors is what Dipan is actually looking at right now. But Dipan, anything that you may have added positions into? Of course, post the LCR guidelines, it's banks, which once again, you're convinced about increasing exposure to. But what has been your portfolio strategy?
Very much overweight banks and NBFCs, not just now, last 4 or 5 years or so. And we rode through the entire underperformance of the banks and NBFCs over the last 4 or 5 years or so. Right from the ILFS crisis, Bank Nifty and banking shares, NBFC shares have underperformed big time. Take, for example, Bajaj Finance, which is one of our top holdings. It went sideways for 5 years, and now it has hit all-time high. So we were anyway overweight banks even when they were underperforming. And now I don't think there's any need to do any tinkering with those portfolios. We remain very positive on 2 banks, particularly if investors want to increase their exposure. One is IDFC First Bank, in which we and clients have investment, and second is IU Small Finance Bank. I think AU Small Finance Bank. I think both these companies, the risk return profile is great, and AU Small Finance has reported exceptionally good numbers. We expect the same from IDFC First, and we expect that these companies will trade at a premium to the banking sector over the next few quarters.
So that is IDFC First Bank and AU Small Finance Bank. Those are the counters that actually Deepan is liking when you talk about the banks in the NBFC space. Kunal, on the charts, how are both of these counters looking to you?
Yeah, I think IDFC First Bank is the one which is looking fairly attractive. I think at 66 or 67 where it's trading right now. The stock has confirmed multiple breakouts. And I think what's intriguing about IDFC First Bank as well as AU Bank, both of these stocks, they were huge underperformers over the last 2 years. They topped out much prior to, the markets topping out from the September highs. I think the top out for IDFC First Bank, which was, I think, closer to that 100 mark, was closer to Jan 2024. And for AU Bank, it was much prior to that. So I think in that context, the time-wise and the price-wise correction for these stocks have been steep. We're seeing a very good pickup of price action for AU Bank. Already the stock is up some 70-80 points in the last 10 odd days, back to that 650 plus mark. So I believe that both these charts are attractive. IDFC First Bank specifically something which I do track very closely and would be very bullish on.
One is seeing a long build up in AU Bank today. That stock has of course surged 9.25%. There are the technology names like we've been highlighting in any case, and Coforge, HCL Technologies. These are the ones which are actually standing out other than the large caps and what they're doing. KPIT, Persistent, LTIM. These are all stocks which are looking very, very smart. Look at what's happening for a delivery as well. That's looking good too. There's an Alchem which is holding out well. Lodha is higher by about 3.6%. There's a Bharat Forge which is looking smart. BSE has lapped up another 3% in trade, and that consistently has been hitting fresh life highs for itself. Dipan, we've talked about this often, but within the entire capital markets theme, what is it that you like still, and where is it that you think one can still add on to the counters?
This is where we are very positive on. And our top pick with usual disclosure that we and our clients are invested is 361. And I think that the recent acquisition is very positive. And overall, I think wealth management businesses do have less volatility in their earnings as compared to some of direct capital market plays like exchanges and stock brokerages. So we like that company. There's also Nuvama Wealth also, which is worth mentioning. Both these companies, I think, have great prospects. They are diversifying their offering, and the demand for wealth management is going to grow significantly given the wealth effect which we are seeing in the economy. So we'd like to play the capital markets or the stock market investment theme, or rather the financialization theme, through these two companies. Within the exchanges, we are particularly positive. Again, usual disclosure on MCX. And that's one company, I think, which benefits from higher options trading in the gold contracts. And the full potential over there is not is not realized. And its competitive position is very strong as compared to, say, BSE or NSE.
So those are some of the names that one can watch out for when you talk about the wealth management firm as well as exchanges. But on that note, thank you so much, Deepan, for joining us on the show. And coming to you, Kunal and Nagaraj. Kunal, go first. What's your closing trades for our viewers?
So I'll again go with the contra buy and contra strategy over here. So Tata Steel is something which I would be bullish on from current levels. The stock has been a huge underperformer in the last, I think, 2-3 weeks. It's corrected more than 15 to 20% from those 180 levels, 170 levels thereabout. So I think at 140 odd mark for Tata Steel, this could actually turn out to be a good contra bet for a near-term target of close to 150, 155.
Okay, a buy on Tata Steel from Kunal. Nagaraj, what's on your list?
I have two stocks. One is from CDSL, another one is from IT side, LTIM. If you look at the chart of CDSL, after forming an important bottom reversal around 1050, the stock has been in a constant up run. Recently, it made a dip and moved up sharply, and now it has moved above the 200-day EMA. The overall chart pattern is looking positive, currently trading around 1354 levels. One can look to buy at this point of time. 1450 is going to be the target, and 1290 is going to be the stop loss for the trade. Second one, LTIM, L&T Mindtree. LTIM has been on a higher bottom and moved up very well in the recent 3-4 days, forming a higher bottom. Looks like the IT has formed an important bottom reversal, and this stock as well. Currently trading around 4535 levels. One can look to buy at this point of time. 4800 is going to be the target, and 4400 one can place a stop loss.